administering the network server administrator, or maybe network administrator. However, at the Cisco level, the difference is at the Cisco level, you know, the cabling, and there's a router. There are routers manufactured by the most popular company in the world that manufactures routers and also switches. They are called Cisco here in the US, head office in California. So when you have a network and you want to integrate this network with another network, with another network, with another, for example, typically you have a branch head office, for example, in the US, and head office in the US, in New York, and then the branch office in Lagos, another branch office in link the branch office network to the head office network would not just be to connect to the internet. One way to do it is to connect to the internet and configure VPN, so that even though you are doing that on a public network, you are now tunneling through a private network to get to the public network. That's one way to do it. But the most popular way to do that is to introduce a router and configure the router. It's a bit complex, but broadly speaking, configure the router to take your packets and route it through the internet and not make it public, even while it's going through the internet, to deliver it to your head office. I don't know if you get the picture I'm trying to paint. So it is not at the level of, I am now sitting down and administering this network. No, it is at the level of, I want to connect one network to another network through a public path. So you have to tell, it is the router that knows how to pick the network, what protocol to tunnel the network through, how to encapsulate the packets, so that even though they are going through a public network, they cannot be hijacked and decrypted along the path. And then when they get to the destination, how to ask for the private key to open it and get that info back. So the point I'm making, if I'm confusing you, is that routing is at the, CCNA is at layer 3. Network administration is not at that level. Network administration, you have an operating system. It's focusing on operating system. You have an operating system like a server, in a Windows Server operating system, and you are managing users. You are resetting lost passwords. You are disabling and enabling accounts, and they are doing stuff around what we just had a tip into today, but sitting in your office and doing stuff around operating system. If you now know that one on top of what you already knew in Cisco, it's a plus, but it's not, Cisco is not required. To learn to install, configure, and manage Cisco devices, which are broadly routers, and now also switches, is not part of network administration. However, if you now build that one to be part of network administration, then you are no longer just a network administration. You are now a systems administrator. And why network administrators are being paid like $30, $35 per hour, then as a systems administrator, you could be paid $60, $70, $90 per hour. Because you don't just know Cisco, you do not just know Windows administration and Linux administration, you also know layer 3 devices on top of that, so you are priced higher. All right, so that answer was specifically to Ada because he asked. For many of us, it's complex. You don't understand what I'm talking about, but you get it. Yes, Anne.
So my name is Anne Afamefuna. I'm asking, like, is it at that stage one have to like manage like site or plank, like start working that layer 3?
Is it at layer 3 that you manage what?
Like ARC site.
ARC
site.
What's ARC site?
Okay, you know, so people like someone can be employed to like, okay, you already know everything about ARC site and all that. You can be employed to like, okay, checking the security aspect, like that firewall wall aspect. You can be employed to like, okay, you'll be managing the log, you can be checking the log and all that.
That's what you are
Let her
trying to
finish.
say.
Leave her, just leave her. Yes, please carry on.
Like I mean, managing the log, checking people, preventing people from coming in and all that. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's a simple one. That's a very basic one. To monitor, you have to, they'll have their own applications like Nangis and a couple of them. You learn that under DevOps.
Okay.
You load whatever app that company, there are a number of them. I have a trainee that used to use one of them, and he's telling us a new one has come out and it's more powerful than the other one in my regular class. So that's a simple one. No, at that level, you are just sitting down. That's under administration.
Okay.
No, you don't need Cisco to do that. Just load they already have their app for monitoring that they use as monitoring tool for that network. They already have it running. So yours is just to do what it's a basic. That one is basic. It's not complex. So your understanding of network administration at the level we're talking about it now will help you achieve that. The only thing you need to learn thereafter is get used. This is general now for Windows. They will now have their own app that will do stuff as they want it. So get used to that app. They will train you on. Not really training, because I expected to have known it. They will just give you like a couple of days orientation on this is how we do it here. And then you can use that app. So to be able to be a network administrator, then we're talking about people who would work on people who work as switch engineers for telecoms companies. And that's why they are paid very well. They're paid very well. All right. So the other things you mentioned, they are peculiar to one aspect of IT that I'm not a professional at. So that's why I didn't know what you mean. But when the other guy explained it for me, I got what you meant. All right, the next person to take your questions. Now, this class is interesting because there are one or two persons who do not really, who is benefiting because it's actually what they want. Yes, your next question.
My name is Ibe Timothy.
All right.
And I have a question. I'm new here.
Okay.
So I work in a university here in Nigeria where I'm an administrator.
Okay.
But I want to see how I can configure the systems within the faculty to ensure we eradicate paperwork and all of that. So we just have a local network where we can share files and all of that amongst ourselves.
Okay.
So I'm asking, am I in the right place? Because I really want to learn how to do that.